What's up, Bonnet family? Mike Lindsley back with you for an ML Sports Take, brought to you by Welch & Company Jewelers and Stumbling Monkey Brewing Company. What a win in Cleveland for the St. Bonaventure Bonnies today, 62-61. There were three huge moments in this basketball game for me, and they were in the last basically 5 minutes of the game. With about 5 minutes to go, the pick, the take, the drive, the slam. Oh my goodness, what an unbelievable game overall for Mr. Venning. But on that play, the big man, nimble, quick. You could see Chad Venning when he got that ball and he moved that 6'10", 255 frame, a lot different look. I mean, he's coming at you like a locomotive, and I don't think he could have done that last year or the year before, right? It's all those videos in the offseason that we saw. Now, granted, nobody was guarding him, right? It's kind of like the whole football combine, doing it all in a t-shirt, as they say, or whatever, in shorts. But honestly, the Chad Venning work in the gym, the footwork, all of the things with the coaches and the trainers in the offseason, that's all I could think about when I saw him pick, take, drive, and dunk. What a play that was with about 5 minutes to go. And to me, that was the FU moment for Bonaventure, right? Like, yeah, we're going to win this game. And I thought that that was a huge play in the game. Another huge moment in the game for me was St. Bonaventure, the last 3 to 5 minutes in this game. They were so bad with offensive possessions. I mean, it was so hard to watch. They couldn't really get a lot of movement and rhythm and timing going in this game. I mean, this game was like, you know, you go to the play-by-play with like 8 minutes to go, it's like in the upper 40s, and you're like, okay, this is going to come down to a defensive play and all the rest, which I'll get to in a second. But the game was going on, and it was such a tug of war, right? Like mid-40s, upper 40s, low 50s, and the time just keeps ticking, and they just cannot get great possessions. They get down by 4 after the triple assist. Ali, who had a really good game, makes a three-pointer, and you're just kind of like, where is this offense, right? Like, Johnson gets the jumper. Actually, it was a 4-point lead for Bonaventure, and then the 3 cut it to 4, and then the Johnson 2, I had that backwards. The Johnson 2 cut it to 2 for St. Bonnie. And then, the free throws go down for the former Jan, and you're like, okay, they're up 4. But again, it took so much to get there. It took so many possessions just to get to that point. I mean, you're looking, I'm going way back to like 8 minutes, 9 minute, 10-minute mark. 48, 43, then it's a 48, 45 game, a 48, 47, 49, 48. There were so many moments and opportunities for Bonaventure. I spoke 3 to 5 minutes, but I guess it was probably the last 6 to 8 minutes really where Bonnie was really struggling, and you were just kind of waiting for that unbelievable moment to happen and that one shot, to finally put him away. And when there was the foul on Asemvis with 25 seconds to go, Akron is down 60-59, right? And Scott goes to the free throw line and he bangs 2 of them. And they're up 1, and you're like, okay, can they make a basket when it counts? And it seems like right now, if I had to trust anybody to make a basket on this basketball court, if it's not going to be Venning inside, it's going to be Micah Adams-Woods. It's just that simple. Like when they had the ball, I said, dude is going to get it and dude's going to go. And he made an unbelievable shot to go up 1, right? And this brings me to that was the second one right there, where Bonaventure just a gots to have bucket, right? The last 6 to 8 minutes, I don't know how all of you ladies and gentlemen felt, but I didn't feel like they could get that gots to get it bucket. And Adams-Woods got it with 8 seconds to play. And then from there, I'm kind of looking at it like, all right, here we go, right? This is the Mike Lindsley game that I always tell you guys about, and gals, like when they're in the high 50s, low 60s, I want that game for Bona. I know that they can score. I know that they can play against inferior opponents and blow somebody up by 20 to 30 like we saw, a few weeks back at the RC. That's all nice and dandy. But I'm telling you, folks, right now, if they're going to make a run and win the A10, they need to win more of these games than not in the upper 50s and the low 60s. And oh My goodness, what an unbelievable defensive stand. This was the third moment in the game. Again, all of them happening under 5 minutes. The first was the Venning pick, take, drive, slam. The Micah Adams Woods gots to have it basket at the end. And then the third one was the defensive stand. Akron gets it over. They're in a bad spot. The Bonnies bring the double team out. Ali has got the basketball. He cannot get set. Akron was kind of scattered in the beginning. Bonaventure brought the wicked heat. They did not foul. They did not overcommit. They stayed true to themselves. They stayed true with the footwork, placement, everything that Schmidt's defenses do late in the seconds in games. And bam, Ali's forced a little bit to the right outside the three-point line. He forces just this wild, stupid circus shot. It goes up into the air, nowhere near the rim, and Bonaventure prevails. And that was, to me, the best defensive stand of the season. Period, end of discussion, because Akron comes in and they were deer in headlights right out of the gate. And Bonaventure's defense came up. They stepped up. They were balanced. They did not overcommit. They did not foul. They did not have a missing assignment. They were right there. They knew exactly what to do. That's coaching. That's execution. That's teamwork. That's awesome Bonaventure basketball right there, man. That is awesome Bonaventure defense. That's what we want late in games. So those moments were absolutely enormous. Let's dive into, in about a minute or two here to close, the box score a little bit and some other things that I saw. St. Bonaventure did not have a great shooting game in this one. They had to kind of win ugly again. They dig deep. They're on the road and all the rest. They go 43.8 overall from the floor, 33.3 from three. No bueno. 7 of 21 there. They actually had a shitty, I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrong line. They still had an awful shooting game. I gave more credit. I was reading the Akron line. I thought Bonaventure did get to 40% or over on shooting. They did not. They were under. They were horrible. I mean, you talk about some shitty lines here. I gave them a little bit too much credit. Sorry about that, Bona fans, but they shot 38.1% from the floor. And then free throws, they were 10 for 13. Okay, we'll take those because Bonaventure, again, winning these games, high 50s, low 60s, make free throws and play defense. They can execute down the stretch in those two compartments, and those are huge compartments in college basketball. Three-point line, yikes, man. 4 for 15 there. I thought they were taking some unnecessary ones in that department throughout. I got to tell you, I loved the rebounding. I just thought that Bonaventure could not execute offensively once they got offensive rebounds. And they had, 16 of them in this game, 23 on the defensive side. The rebounding was outstanding from beginning to end. Guards were getting involved. Obviously, they had a tremendous game from Charles Pride on the boards. He had double digits with 10. Barry Evans continues to clean up the glass, man. Oh, my goodness. 10 rebounds for him. So just an outstanding effort game from everyone, rebounding, tipping balls to each other, and all the rest. Only one guy in double figures, Venning. He had an outstanding game. How about the 3 blocks on defense for him as well? I thought St. Bonaventure did an overall decent job on the Akron guards who can kind of get away from you, and they're quick, holding Tribble and Johnson to 14 total. Obviously, Ali is going to get his at 20. He had a really great game, but again, he had the ball in his hands off balance, three-point. You don't really want that if you're Akron to be off balance. He can make that shot, as we know. He went 4 for 9 from the arc, behind the arc, three-point arc in this game, but Bonaventure forced him into a bad spot. He's got to be set and boom, set and boom. But if you get him off balance, the guy's all over the place. So those things jumped out to me. Bonaventure's turnovers, they only had 7 in this game, so they did take care of the basketball. It just was a weird offensive game the last 6 to 8 minutes in the second half where they just couldn't get things going in terms of timing, rhythm, and then the execution of the scoring. And then they had